So today I'm putting on the last round of Api Life Var mite treatments, and I'm also going to test a few hives for mites. These hives still look pretty good. The queens are still laying eggs, not on this frame, but see underneath there is baby bees that are going to hatch out. There's capped brood, and then once they emerge, they backfill it in with syrup. See, they're filling that right in with syrup. It's easier to see on the other side. Most of my hives have almost finished their first pail. See, they're filling up the combs with syrup, and then there's capped brood. Any bees that are emerging now and later into the season are winter bees. So, looks good. These are pretty nice looking hives. This is one of my shitty wintered hives that the queen was just getting old and they just weren't really doing all that great. So I re-queened them, and now they look just great. They've built up to 2 boxes of bees. This one even made a little bit of honey. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, these little Api Life Var tablets, it's kind of neat. They'll drag them right out of the colony. So here's some old ones on the ground. Or wait, oh, okay, no, that's not. Oh, here's one. They'll drag them right out of the colony. Pretty much all the thymol smell is gone. It's just vermiculite, so it'll decompose into the ground. That's neat though. I like that I don't have to scrape them out of here or, take them out. The bees will do it for me. They look pretty good. I'm quite happy with these hives. Very nice brood patterns on here. Very healthy bees. Those will all be winter bees. So that's great. And the young larvae are still being very well fed. Well, those aren't super young, but still though, the larvae are still being well fed. There's lots of good pollen coming in. It's very healthy hives. They look good. I'm quite happy with them. Let's see here. Is that young larva? I can't find any on this frame. But they're very well fed, healthy bees. This Api Life Var doesn't seem to be hurting the brood at all. So that's good. Okay, so I'll show testing for mites here. So I pull out a brood frame. You want to avoid getting your queen. She's on this frame, so let's see here. I'll take another frame, but I'll show the queen. It's always trickier to spot her when the camera's out. I just seen her. She might have ran over to the other side. Hang on. Alright, there she is. She was just blending in. So there's my queen. I don't want to take her, so I'll take out another frame with brood on it here. So there she is. I'll just set her aside for a minute. Alright, so here's a frame with brood. I'll put that frame with the queen back into the hive so she's safe, but anyway, there's a frame with brood. The mites are on the bees mainly that are around the brood nest, so it's good to take a test take bees off of brood frames for a mite test. Anyway, really good pattern. This is a good hive. It's really nice and populous. So, alright, so there's my shaker jar. It's about half full, one of these with methyl hydrate. Unfortunately, to test for mites, you end up killing bees. So what I'll do, I can't do this on camera because I need somebody to record, but I take the jar and drag it and roll it down the frame, and the bees fall in. I'll take about 300, which is about an inch of bees in there. And then out of that, it kills the bees. It's too bad, but it also kills the mites. And then you can figure out how many mites are in your hive roughly, and figure out a percentage. You want no more, ideally, than 6 mites on 300 bees, or 2%. I mean, really, I'd like to see it at 0. That's what I've been washing so far, which is good. But it's important to test. It's kind of like taking a blood test, I guess, in a way. Except it's with bees. It kills that little part, but then you get to know if if you're healthy, or in this case, if the bees are healthy. The mites will kill the hive. If you leave them in there, they're done for. So, it's important to know. I test 4 hives out of every yard, and then I'll just write how many mites I find and the date on the front of the hive. But here, I'll show this after I get the bees in this sample jar. Okay, so I guess that's a little more than an inch, but that's about 300 bees in there. It's half a cup. The methyl hydrate kills them pretty much instantly. They fall in there and that's it. This is too bad, but it's really a good idea to know how many mites are in your hives. They will kill the whole hive if you just leave them. I'm just wanting to keep the mite levels at 0, which so far I've been watching zeros, so that's good. Usually around this time of year I'd be finding 1% or more in some hives. You know, maybe nearing 2% in some hives. With this Api Life Var, I'm hoping just to keep the mite levels at 0, which it seems to be doing that. I'll take a few more mite tests later on in the fall here, just to make sure. But anyways, I'll just shake this up for at least a minute, and then you flip the bottles over, or, flip the bottle over, and kind of shake it around a little bit, and the mites will fall to the bottom, and then you can count them. But anyways, so it's pretty simple. You just shake them up. For about a minute. And 0 mites. That's good. So I'm going to have pretty healthy, clean bees going into winter. This is how most of my hives look. Just really nice boxes of bees here. Oh yes, before I forget here, I just write the mite count down. So 0 on September 4th. There, good. Okay, so this one here wasn't really taking much syrup. Its pail was still pretty much full. That gets an automatic inspection. If a hive's not taking syrup in the fall, it could be a sign that there's something wrong. This one here seems fine. That's a really nice pattern. And they have taken a little bit of syrup. Oh, I got bees on my fingers. I can smell that Api Life Var. So, very good pattern in here. They are taking a little bit of syrup. They're filling in around the edges. I'm going to check one more frame on this just to be sure, but it seems fine. I think that the edges here are full of honey, and then the space in the top box is probably just filled with brood right now. So that's why they're not really taking down much. But still though, if hive's not taking syrup in the fall, it can be a sign that there's something wrong, so it gets an automatic inspection. Yeah, these girls are fine. There's eggs, there's brood in all stages. They're just not taking the syrup as fast. Another thing to look for in a queenless hive is see how the bees are all nice and calm? If they're queenless, they're usually running around, they're roaring. You open up the lid and there's bees just running everywhere. They're roaring, they're fanning, they're just freaking out. These girls here are super calm. They're doing good. Wow, look at this one. This is one of my nukes with California Saskatraz queens. Made these up at the end of June. Isn't that a beauty? It's a nice hive. Here's the 2 queen hive. It looks pretty good. These are the last nukes that I boosted up there with a little bit of brood and a box of bees. They look really good. They've built up well into doubles. That's good. Okay, that's it. I'm done. I got the last round of Api Life Var on. I'll do some more videos as fall progresses.